Welcome, guys. This is gonna be a quick live. I see I have. This is gonna be quick, guys. I just saw this video on SLBC. It's 7 o'clock already, so it's a little bit late, especially for my brothers and sisters back home. But I want to show you guys what state capture looks like. Basically, that is what I want to show you guys. How the media has been captured in Sierra Leone so much to the point that when reporters or news anchors are actually reading the news, you can tell the state controls the narrative. That is what I want you guys to actually witness firsthand for yourself. So I'm actually just going to show you this SLBC today. Actually, this was aired today. Like I said, it's straight to the point. I just want to show you guys what it's like when the state has captured the narrative. Basically, the messaging, you can actually tell that it is not nationalistic, but more governmentally controlled. And that is the problem we have in Sierra Leone today. But it's hard to see what it's like when to prove that the media has been captured, because you do hear sometimes, of course, like the AYVs and the 98.1s, you would hear them bring the opposition. But this is lately, right? Lately, because of course we're getting close to elections, and we've been making a lot of noise about the fact that the media has been captured. But I want you to listen to this presenter on SLBC. Is reporting about the visit of President Bio. They were invited to the Washington DC for the African Leaders Summit. I want you guys to listen to how the message is passed on. So let's listen to this together, guys. I want you guys to listen to this, so everybody would all be on the same page. Let's listen to this together.
Today is Tuesday, the 20th December 2022, and it is a pleasant good morning and a warm welcome to your program, Good Morning Sierra Leone. This is a program that always starts your day. I am Sheku Smiler. Our quote of the day is from a proverb which says, Christmas is doing a little something extra for someone. Let me go over these wise words once again. Christmas is doing a little something extra for someone. Coming up in this edition of program Good Morning Sierra Leone, President Julius Maada Bio returns from the U.S. African Summit. National Grand Coalition concludes delegates conference with the re-election of Dennis Bright as chairman. Land for Life platform focusing on promoting people-centered governance has been launched in this country. All of these are now lined up in this edition of program Good Morning Sierra Leone, live from a broadcasting house, New Englandville in Freetown. Well, as you may have heard in the news, President Julius Maada Bio recently attended the African U.S. Leaders Summit. 49 leaders were invited from Africa, but President Bio was among 6 African leaders that had a private meeting with President Joe Biden. Well, to talk more on our visit or conference, the summit President Bio attended.
I want you guys to look at the facial expression of this guy when he's reading and saying this particular area that President Bio was amongst. I want you guys to see his body language and everything, right? How he expresses himself. I want you guys to listen to this.
Summit. 49 leaders were invited from Africa, but President Bio was among 6 African leaders.
But President Bio was amongst 6 African leaders. You see, it's the misrepresentation. Of course, when you listen to it on face value, yes, President Bio was one of 6 other African leaders that were invited by President Joe Biden specifically to have a meeting. And did they talk about, right? It was more so along the fact that elections are coming up, and it wants to ensure that it promotes and ensures that there's free and fair elections in these countries. But I want you to listen to this, because this is. Let's continue. Listen to this.
Had a private meeting with President Joe Biden. We have to talk more on our visit or conference. Well, as you may have heard in the news, President Julius Maada Bio recently attended the African U.S. Leaders Summit. 49 leaders were invited from Africa. But President Bio was among 6 African leaders that had a private meeting with President Joe Biden. We have to talk more on our visit or conference, the summit President Bio attended. I have here in the studios the presidential spokesman, and he is Alhaji Alpha Khan. Good morning, Alhaji Alpha Khan. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Sumaila. How are you?
Yes, the president has just returned from the Africa U.S. Leaders Summit in the United States. But more especially, he was among 6 African leaders, selected to have a private meeting with the President of the United States. Now, tell us, what was the purpose for that extra meeting, that private meeting that President Joe Biden had with 6 selected leaders in Africa?
Thank you.
You see, guys, because what I want to show you guys is that what they're actually promoting is the fact that these 6 leaders, they are so special that President Bio, amongst the 49 other leaders, 6 of them, amongst the 6, there's only one, of course, President Bio was amongst the 6. This is the narrative, state capture of the media. This is what they want it to sound like the President Bio is so special. And all these other 6, they're so special. And I'm going to get to the meeting itself, what it's all about. But it's just when the media has been captured, so much to the point they have to emphasize that of the 49, only 6, special 6, were the ones that were invited to a special meeting by President Joe Biden. These presidents are so special. It's the narrative, because this should be a simple thing where, President Joe Biden actually sat down with 6 other leaders, and this announcer, this presenter should actually make it very clear to Sierra Leoneans. Of the 49 leaders, yes, 6 leaders were actually called by President Joe Biden. And the meeting was called because it wanted to talk to them about the upcoming elections that is going to be happening in their countries. That was the very reason why he put these 6 leaders together to talk to them, to promote free, fair, and credible elections across Africa, because that is what he wants to see. We're talking about the MCC and all of that. But I want you to listen to this. State capture, even the presenters of the news, the way the message is curated, everything. It has to present this false narrative, it's so special. Let's rewind this and listen to this, because we'll get to the answer of Alpha Khan, and then I'll come to what I want to talk to you guys about. Listen to this.
How are you?
Yes, the president has just returned from the Africa U.S. Leaders Summit in the United States. But more especially, he was among 6 African leaders, selected to have a private meeting with the President of the United States. Now, tell us, what was the purpose for that extra meeting, that private meeting that President Joe Biden had with 6 selected leaders in Africa?
Thank you, Mr. Sumaila. This is not the first USA Africa Summit. This is the second. During the tenure of President Barack Obama, there was also a meeting called up with African leaders. And this one, like you said, the 49 African states were invited.
And guys, sorry for the sound quality, because the sound quality is ridiculous, man. It's so hard to hear what they're saying, but I hope you guys will listen attentively to hear what he's saying. But of course, Alpha Khan is just talking about the fact that this is not the first time. We all know that President Barack Obama actually invited former President Nkrumah to the White House as well. And this was at a time when Sierra Leone was really doing well. The economy and everything was great. Even though with the Ebola and all that stuff that happened, but President Barack Obama actually invited former President Nkrumah to the White House. At that time, it was only 4 leaders, and these were exemplary leaders in Africa, right? They were doing great things. So Alpha Khan is just saying, because he was part of the people that actually, the delegation of former President Nkrumah. This Alpha Khan was part of that. But listen, let's continue. Let's hear what his answer is going to be.
Niger and our neighbors, Nigeria, Guinea. But of this, the intention was one, to see how the U.S. can deepen its relationship in terms of trade, international relations, peace, and climate change in the world. We give Africa as a partner. Then, of course, we have to talk about democratic dispensations. The 6 countries that were invited all have elections in 2023. The US president did say that he had invited them, one, because their countries are very important to the relationship between Africa and the US, and that the US also has deep interests in this country. Secondly, that he wanted to talk about the impending, imminent elections, but he was not there to lecture them on democracy, because he knows that all of them are democratic leaders and leading democratic countries. All he had to do was to talk to them about how we can improve upon what is there already. He did say, in fact, that he doesn't believe that there is a perfect democracy. So even they have their own challenges. In the US, we all saw what happened January 6, 2020 or 2021. And he knows that there are certain difficulties we are surmounting, but when you take the ballpark.
Guys, I'm sorry, let me spare you the challenge with the sound.
Our president,
of course, the sound is very, very terrible. And for the national radio station, for we country, this is despicable, that we cannot even have, a good sound, with their broadcasting. It's very terrible. It's hard to really hear what they're saying. But really what I want to do, and the reason why I'm doing this live, is to show you guys, actually what was said at the, meeting that President, Joe Biden actually held with Elon Musk. Sorry, I'm thinking Twitter, so Elon Musk, right? Twitter comes to mind now. But the meeting that President Joe Biden actually had with, President, Marabio and all these other leaders that he actually called, the 6 leaders that he called, into a special meeting to discuss, their upcoming elections, which was the very reason and the only reason that he actually called them into that particular separate meeting that the SLPP keeps, making it seem like, it's this meeting that it's so special that for let President Joe Biden sit down with President Bio, it is the most beautiful thing that has ever happened in the face of the planet, because that is the narrative that the SLPP wants to push out there. So let me show you guys this. And I want you guys to see this. So we can see I'm from the Twitter page of President Joe Biden himself, for the purpose of that particular meeting, what the meeting was all about. I want you guys to actually see that from his own Twitter page, which is what I'm going to show you guys. It's remarkable because, again, we have to understand. I see the SLPP, they've taken all these photos, President Bio on his Twitter page, all over, it's scattered, showing that, these are sat with, but let me show you guys this. Let me put this on the screen because I want you guys to actually see this, on a bigger screen here. Let me show you. This is the Twitter page of President Joe Biden. And the only reason why he sat with these leaders, which I want you guys to see. Let me do this. Sorry, guys. Let me do this here. I want you to see why. So now, of course, this was, a couple of days ago. And President Joe Biden said, I met yesterday with presidents of DRC, Gabon, Liberia, Madagascar, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone to discuss their country's upcoming polls in 2023 and challenges and opportunities facing democracies. That was the primary reason for the separate meeting that President Joe Biden called these leaders of these various countries. So when you look, this is the I table right here. And these are the leaders of the DRC, Gabon, Liberia, Madagascar, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone to discuss their country's upcoming polls in 2023 and challenges and opportunities facing democracies. And then you go further. I want you guys to see this. It said we discussed the importance of holding free, fair, and transparent elections. I want you guys to see this, guys. And of working together to strengthen democracy globally. The United States plans to provide over $165 million to support elections and good governance in Africa in 2023. That was the essence of the whole meeting. And that is what I want you guys to see, and I want you guys to understand that is why President Joe Biden called these leaders, 6 leaders separately, into another room. It has nothing to do with any business idea, agenda, blah, blah, blah. So when you listen to Alpha Khan, these guys, again, because of the state narrative, the state capture, continue for blindfold with people. So citizens will think now that, President Joe Biden, it took his time to call President, Mada Bio inside this special meeting with them special 6 years. No, they're not special. These are just leaders. We can forget elections coming in 2023. And they don't hear all the challenging things that we talk about. All the challenges that Africans we are faced with in these countries. He knows about the Sierra Leone Wahala. We live in a small village these days, guys. So he knows about all of these things. And that is what he's talking about. So that is why he invite these 6 leaders, as you guys are seeing right here. Invite these 6 leaders for say, let them come and can sit down and talk. Una look for una self. It has nothing to do with Alpha Khan in narrative. Let's go to Alpha Khan's narrative. Let us see what they talk. What Alpha Khan they talk now? If he match with what we talk about. Now listen.
Dispensations. The 6 countries that were invited. This one was selected to have a private meeting with the I have here in the studios the presidential spokesman, and he is Alhaji Alpha Khan. Good morning, Alhaji Alpha Khan. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Sumaila. How are you?
Yes, the president has just returned from the Africa U.S. Leaders Summit in the United States. But more especially, he was among 6 African leaders, selected to have a private meeting with the President of the United States. Now, tell us, what was the purpose for that extra meeting, that private meeting that President Joe Biden held with 6 selected leaders in Africa?
Thank you, Mr. Sumaila. This is not the first USA-Africa summit. This is the second. During the tenure of President Barack Obama, there was also a meeting called up with African leaders. And this one,
Alpha Khan kind because of course, I forget flack. But I want him to go straight to the reason for this particular meeting. But when I listen to the many, many reasons why we Alpha Khan for why President Joe Biden actually invited, President, Bio into this meeting, making it so special for paint this narrative, because this was like a dream come true for this guy for the past 4 years of in presidency, almost 5 years, and not be able to go to the White House. So finally, this was it. It was that this is all they were waiting for. The only reason I specify again, the reason why President Joe Biden picked these 6 leaders, including President Bio, was to talk specifically about elections coming up. It had nothing to do with the conference itself that they were invited to. It's not just because of the wahala and confusion and trouble where they say these 6 countries get for all elections. That is it. But listen to Alpha Khan where they explain your story.
Like you said, the 49 African states were invited.
I think 3 of them did not attend, as you know, Chad, Niger, and our neighbors, Nigeria, Guinea. But of this, the intention was one, to see how the U.S. can deepen its relationship in terms of trade, international relations, peace, and climate change in the world. We give Africa as a partner. Then, of course, we have to talk about democratic dispensations. The 6 countries that were invited all have elections in 2023. The US president did say that he had invited them, one, because their countries are very important to the relationship between Africa and the US, and that the US also has deep interests in this country. Secondly, that he wanted to talk about the impending, imminent elections, but he was not there to lecture them on democracy, because he knows that all of them are democratic.
Thank you. But again, guys, like I said, the sound is really, really terrible. So that's pathetic again for a national radio, a TV station. But this is what I really want to show you guys. I mean, things like these, people look at it like it's really nothing. But we're tired of the narrative. We're tired of these guys painting this picture of everything being so glorious. No, President Biya is not celebrated. President Joe Biden not call him inside that special meeting with then 6 people there because he's special. No, it is only because he knows it don't read the PR system where they try for propose. The registration process was messed up. The verification process was a scam. $10 million stolen by the NEC Commission. So President Joe Biden knows all about these things. So therefore, he called them 6 leaders there, more or less to warn them, to let them know America is paying attention to our elections come 2023. Basically, that was the whole thing. Look at the tweets from Joe Biden in page. Talk nothing other than for the reason why he invite them 6 there for talk to them. I met yesterday with presidents of the DRC, Gabon, Liberia, Madagascar, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone to discuss their country's upcoming polls in 2023 and challenges and opportunities facing democracies. That was it, period. That was the whole essence of this meeting. So he called they all sitting at the table and he explained, say, we discussed the importance of holding free, fair, and transparent elections. Basically, now one, you can't want the leaders they are. I said, no, you don't nonsense in our country. Now they tell them so with man terms. And of working together to strengthen democracy globally. The United States plans to provide over $165 million to support elections and good governance in Africa in 2023. That's it. It was not like they are super special because they send this message out and people like, oh, President Joe Biden, a lot of mercy. We see President BO, don't call him inside that 16 that they all nonsense. Now one then go on a president lane, no say 2023 elections, the world is watching. That's pretty much the whole facts now. There's no makeup about this whole thing. So this lie and this fake life mentality, it has to stop in Sierra Leone. That is the basic fact. But again, like I said, the sound quality is so terrible, and I don't think I can continue with, that kind of a sound quality for play for now. It's so hard to even hear what they're saying and all of that stuff. So we'll leave that. But the fact of the matter remains, Sierra Leoneans, I just wanted to clear that with you guys. Let me understand. But this is what I really want to share with you guys. Dr. Samura Kamara, actually, we see the travel across the country. And I know, say, of course, the opposition party, the biggest, the APC, they're going to have their flag bearer elections. Shortly. I'm sure between now and January 29th, if we don't elect a flag bearer. But Dr. Samura Kamara, of course, is all over the country, traveling, to across the country to galvanize, support and, mobilize the people of Sierra Leone across the country, south, east, west, north, and all over. So we know, say, of course, when it comes to, the love way people get for this man, it's insurmountable. And let me share that with you so you guys can see exactly what is actually happening right now with Dr. Samura Kamara travels across the country. But this is exactly what it sounds like. And I want you guys to see this. This was, I think this na Bons or so, where you reach the Bons district, everybody is jubilating and celebrating with him right there. So like you see the crowd and all of that stuff. But it's just the reason why I'm showing this. And whilst they play, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because when you look at the confusion within the APC as a party right now and everything that is actually happening, I think, thank you. I think it's very crucial for us to understand that at the end of the day, when you look at this petty fight for everybody want to become a flag bearer of the APC party, when you look at somebody like Dr. Samora Kamara already, if any political party we want for win election, everybody gets in democratic rights, by the way. You cannot stop anybody from, participating in democracy. Everybody get right for be voted for, everybody get right for vote. But when Dr. Samora Kamara, this man, for the past 4 years, he has maintained a relationship with Sierra Leoneans. He has not been hiding. He has been very vocal about everything that is happening to the point where he has a case with them Putsparam. We will not see that case. Of course, it's in the hands of the government. That is Sabidi Anki Panki when they play with the opposition within the opposition that is corrupt. They are trying to blemish the man in character. Money will come through the Chinese government, go into the foreign affairs bank account and all of that stuff. We know that is a done deal there. There is no case against Dr. Samora Kamara. But look at the man. This is the man where the people of Sierra Leone, they resonate with for the past 4 years. He's been with Sierra Leoneans. Everywhere he goes, people love him. Somebody don't be sabi. Me say don't be sabi him, right? When I also say we don't bring on this platform a couple of times, 1 or 2 times, we don't discuss and talk about the way forward for Sierra Leone. And we know say he has the vision. He has what it takes, to move Sierra Leone from where it's at. And the reason why I like them in particular to keep there where it takes so, it is the fact that it gets an opportunity again, not to say they don't see Sierra Leone and the sufferings of the people, but it gets an opportunity for continue for see what is actually happening, at the country and waiting at the areas them where you get for definitely need for intervene, for help, for improve. Because when you look at the travels, when you look at the roads, it's so, you motocar, you drive your motocar, dirty for look so and all that kind of a filth, then they, I think, get concerned, about. So what we got for do for fix? But all of these roads where they make so side in the drive so that the APC government is continuity, right? When one government come, then see say, let me while this they run at the background. But this time all it keeps away they take that the southern part of the country, people and then they welcome him. This man has what it takes. It get if anything, what you look for in politics, it's the support, the people that they get power in that politics. But when you see what's in the happen, so Monday we don't hide. For the past 4 years, we never reading guy there. They have never critiqued, the government of President Bio. All the killings, all the abuse, all the corruption, we've never seen anything, from these guys. There is no record, to date. We'll go say, look at this particular guy, now this is say. But these are all the things we want for sure. Now, let us see, Sierra Leoneans for say, within the APC party, in as much as everybody get right to participate, everybody, hey, I want to be flag bearer, I want to be this, I want to be that. But you have to look at a time like this where the country confused, like I confuse so. And it's the same attitude that cost the APC the last elections because everybody want to be flag bearer. And so what can happen? There's so much division, within, the party. Supporters them feel, disenfranchised. This was Dr. Samora Kamara again. Last show on them video alone. I see for myself where they enter, some of these towns. But I'm telling you guys, I am really, really, it's for me when I look at these roads and all of this stuff, it's pathetic though. I think we deserve better. The people deserve better. Look at the construction of the roads. Them. When I watch this for myself,
The warm welcome where the people and they welcome the people of the journey. They welcome Dr.
Yeah, this now both districts. Now listen for myself.
Sorry for Mulem, today Samale, now the southern province of Sierra Leone, Samale village.
Yeah, basically, guys, so of course this video continue for progress. If we fast forward small, You go see the amount of support, people coming, to giving. And this is in the south of Sierra Leone. This is the southern part of the country. This is Bonfed, all those other areas there, where they go and, they meet with the people. Because this is not campaigning, right? This is just a tour to meet with the people. Everybody get right. Mr. Seki Komona, I just said I go on a tour, but I will pull this kind of crowd. I don't know. So when you look at the APC at a time like this, all of these people that are actually just running up and down, one from the flag bearer, they should be able to see. The first time we will give them excuse, 2018, you understand. But between 2018 to now, when they don't see the kind of support that Dr. Samuel Kumar on Ghana, it's kind of a supported law for the people to get right. Instead of creating a wedge, between and amongst the people, these guys get an obligation to save the peace of the APC. Let me reduce the sound. I know it's kind of noisy, both sides. But when you look at, what he's saying, what is actually happening, when all of these people they want for be flag bearers, eventually the lower level election become very contentious. What's going to happen? There is this wedge now amongst the supporters them. And then the supporters them, like the same thing will happen in 2018 that cost the elections for APC. We make APC lost elections. It was the same flag bearer fight. So people eventually, after the young posse where they say they want, not get the flag bearership, they become disgruntled. And I think the APC should look at something like that and introspect within themselves. These guys say, this man, for the past 4 years, 5 years, everywhere this man go, people love this man across the country. This is the south of Sierra Leone. So let me back off, let me back down, let's create a level playing field where there will not be any confusion with supporters. We don't begin to see them, they get them violent attacks. But I know they talk about those violent attacks for the lower level elections because, until the party people, SSF, come out and talk about them, that is their own issue. But we don't begin to see, supporters, they attack themselves and all that kind of stuff and we're not condoning that kind of foolishness. So it's incumbent on the leaders them for come out and talk to the supporters them. But this is Dr. Samuel Kumar in the south of Sierra Leone, in the southeast. So if this man, we know say we only look for penetrate the south, because if we can penetrate the southeast of Sierra Leone, the victory is going to be squeaker and easy. Squeaky clean the victory with everything that has happened, the suffering of our people. When you look at all the pains that Sierra Leoneans have been through, Dr. Samuel Kumar actually is the person. Again, I have my People's Liberation Academy, right? We say we give a chance. We don't go register a political party at this time because we don't want to take any votes away from the APC. We know say, if anything, at least the APC better pass SLPP 99%. 99%. And they save the 1% because nobody not perfect. But 99%. We see what's happening to people within this past 4 years. We see the bastardization of our democracy. We see how they destroy with constitution. No respect for the rule of law. These guys do whatever they want to do. But yeah, this is Dr. Samuel Kumar. Fast forward this long and see, across the southern part of Sierra Leone. Look at all the support that they get from these people. So why would level-headed folks not think, say, let me, go easy on this one. Let me back down. Let me left this playing field so people don't suffer enough for 4 years. Let not confuse them. Let all come together. Let support this one person here. So again, everybody has a right for any contest, any position they want for contest. No, so you cannot take that away from them. But this is Dr. Samuel Kumar for you guys. And this is the kind of support that this man has across the country in the south. I'm not making this stuff up. All of these people are all over. This is the southern tour. Let me show you guys this. Let me put this on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is Moyamba district. So this was a quick stop. This was a quick stop now, Moyamba. Inside the south of Sierra Leone. So the thing is, we know say the people across Sierra Leone, they don't become very patriotic. And they don't understand, say, it's about country first. It's not about tribe. It's not about political party. And that is the effect of what we're seeing right here. The people across the country don't wake up. But Sierra Leone, like I said, guys, this was just going to be a quick one. Tomorrow, I think I'll do a very comprehensive live and sober one and everything. But I just want to touch those two areas. SLBC, they need to improve on their sound. And sound is crappy. It's ridiculous for a television station, whether the national, television station. Their sound is crappy. There is so much, all the money where the states, the government, the thief, they should have improved the quality of presentation for SLBC. I think, if anything, let's take that to them. Let them understand that they should have improved the quality of waiting SLBC they give out. You cannot be listening to them with all the echo and everything. Come on, there's so many sound engineers out there. Let them fix their sound, man. The sound is crappy. It's hard to even listen to them. I don't know how people listen to that kind of stuff. We all believe in good sound, good quality sound. Me at these small stations, so we're within me sound quality. I'm very big on it because I want to be very powerful. Where somebody will listen, like hearing me properly. No echo, no extra. If I get echo, I go fix them, but enough for be pass mark. So the need for fix the sound quality for Broadcasting Corporation, when at the main national radio of the country, it is disgraceful. They need to fix it up. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave this live right here. Have a good evening, everybody. And tomorrow, like I say, I will do a very sober and solid live. It don't late now. I know I'm really there in the mind frame, but I just wanted to touch on this because these not all issues I have to deal with on a regular. Tomorrow I'm going to come and break down certain issues. Let us see the way forward for Sierra Leone. All right? I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, everybody. All right. Ibrahim Kamara watching from Dallas. Welcome, my brother. Hassan Conte. Yes. Thank you, everybody. All right, guys. Bye-bye. I'm going to leave it right here.